Hello and welcome to the fourth video for your Salsa Shines series. Thank you for joining us. Today I'm filming it in Rockford at the studio where I teach in Rockford. Dance Tonight, Pedro Cruz. I'm going to link a connection to the studio in the description for the video, so definitely check that out if you're in Rockford. And again, if you'd like any private lessons or information on those, just message me on social media. All right, so we are going to begin with a little bit of a review. So we will get to some new patterns as well, new material. But to review, we'll review the basic pattern, and mostly today we're going to be talking about how the lady or the follower and the leader will dance together, right? Because so far we've danced everything just side by side or, facing one another, but we haven't really talked about how the leader and the follower relate to each other in the dancing. So just to review the basic pattern, when I'm doing these patterns, I'm going to face the camera for the leader's part, and I'm going to face away from the camera for the follower's part. And I think that should make it pretty easy for both partners to follow along. So for the leaders, we begin with the left foot forward for our basic pattern. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So we're holding on the 4, 2, 3, hold 4, 5, 6, 7, hold 8. So this is on one salsa, so we're breaking on 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. I'll face the other direction for the followers to go over. So for the followers, we begin with the right foot going back. So it's the same pattern that the leaders do that we just went over, but we begin with the second half of it. So the 1, 2, 3 for the ladies, or for the followers, I'm going to use that term interchangeably probably, begins with the right foot going back as opposed to the left foot going forward. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And obviously we can dance that together. We could dance that in a closed position, we could dance that in a hand-to-hand, two-hand hold, right, where the man dances forward as the lady is breaking back. So that's one way to practice that. So I'll do the man's part, 5, 6, the leader, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So he's breaking forward on the 1, 2, 3 and back on the 5, 6, 7. Yes? Now for the ladies, or the followers, right foot back. Great job. That was our basic forward and back, man's part or leader's part and follower's part. Let's review a couple of things about the basic first. Moving from the floor up, it's the easiest way I think to go over it. We have our accent, right? A couple of things for footwork. Staying on the balls of the feet, keeping the heels a little bit lifted. So we keep the heel on the floor a lot of the time. We use the whole foot, but our weight is on the ball of the foot. So if I wanted to at any time, I could pick up my heel. Okay, now the accent happens on the 4 and the 8 that we were holding. So we talked about using the toe on the forward break and then the heel on the back break. This is just one variation of so many types of ways that you can use these little accents. This is just the way we're going to practice it for this series. So once again, on the 8, we tap the toe. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the heel before it goes back. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this is for the leader's timing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, so we'll do the follower's timing as well, which again, it's exactly the same. We just start with the back half first. So we have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it doesn't change the fact that when I break back, it's the heel, and when I break forward, it's the toe. Heel, and toe before I go forward. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's one element to keep in mind. Another element is our knee, hip, and rib action, right? This is the most I'm going to talk about body action for this series. So we bend the knees independently of one another, one at a time, right? And as we bend, let's say, the left knee, we're going to think of lining up the knee and the same side rib cage. So we think knee and rib, and then the other side we condense or contract the side where we pull the hip toward the lat, or like the back, the shoulder blade there, right? The lat muscle is this muscle that pulls the shoulder down. So when I'm kind of pulling that piece together, I'm pulling my hip toward my shoulder blade and kind of making that area smaller, okay? So once again, just to go over the knee and rib cage, so moving that rib cage over. Good. If we just think of rib cage isolation, we could think of moving it side to side this way, couldn't we? Side to side, right. And slightly forward. So if we go left one more time, left rib cage, left knee, right hip, right lat. And I'm drumming on that side or bringing the arm across laterally, right? And then same thing when I switch. I'm going to straighten the left knee, bending the right knee. Line up right rib cage over right knee, pushing slightly forward, and then condensing this side, the hip and the lat, as I drum across. It's a lot happening at once, right? So if we do it kind of a little faster now, we switch left knee and left rib cage, and right knee, left and right, and left and right. So what happens is, this happens every time I switch weight. So sometimes the change of weight is going to be very fast though, so you won't see necessarily all of those stages, but it happens very quickly. So if I'm using that body action now and putting it into my basic pattern, then for the leaders, it will look like this. And a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7. So this is where our body action comes from. So there's different ways to do this. You can put more of the focus on your hip action, da, 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 right? A little more of the hip action. Or you can think a little more of rib cage, laterally moving, a da, da, ga, dee. It all depends on really your personal style, but also, you know, a lot of times the leaders may feel a little more comfortable using the upper body more. And then the ladies or followers might feel a little more comfortable using the hip action a little bit more. So just play around with it and see what feels right for you. So trying that from the other direction for the followers, same idea. So we're still now using the hip and the lat, and then the knee that's bent and the rib cage. So now if we go back first, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Every change of weight has that delayed rolling through action. Da, 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 dee. Boom, boom, boom. So if we combine that with our little accent, right, on the 4 and the 8, then our basic starts to have a lot of technique to it and a lot of flair. It looks really nice and polished then. So we have 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. So it doesn't look just like a simple basic anymore. It really has some polish to it now. It looks really nice. So let's go now and review how we can dance, let's say, the right and the left turn together. So we have the leaders part and then the followers part. I'll review first just the left turn and right turn, okay? And this will be really from the leader's timing perspective. And then we'll go over how the lady will do the same thing, or the follower, excuse me. So if we have one basic first, we have 1, 2, 3. We're going to turn to the right by preparing on the 7, 8. We're going to bring the left foot across on 1, 2, 3. So we've completed our full turn in only 3 steps. and then break back on 5, 6, 7 to finish. So once again, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We turn 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we'll go over the ladies' part of that. So the lady begins back on her right foot on the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Then she turns 5, 6, 7. So when we are dancing in a shine position where we're facing our partner, the leader is doing mostly a visual lead. If we're not connected, that's really the only way for him to lead her, right? So that means that he's going to do his right turn before she does her right turn, right? So if we put this all together in a little combination using just a basic and a right turn, our timing for the leader will be 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So the leader's turning on the 1, 2, 3. For the follower, she's turning on the 5, 6, 7. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This is where the leader turns while we're rocking back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, he turned, so I'm going to turn as well. Makes sense? So if we're watching a couple dancing a Salsa Shines pattern like this, it looks like he goes first and then she goes right after. And then it's going to just kind of play back and forth like that. So let's do a little pattern to review our left turn now. So we did the right turn, same idea with the left turn. So from a basic pattern for the leader, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. This time we have really the whole 8 counts to get around because we turn to the left. 1, 2, and open, and then bring it around on the 5, 6, 7 to complete it. 5, 6, 7, and then we're done. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 is our basic. 1, 2, open, and 5, 6, 7. Okay, that was the leader's part. Follower's part, same idea. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. We see him open here. 2, 3. So we open 6, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, and finish 5, 6, 7. So once again, for the followers, 1, 2, 3, basic step. On this part, we see him begin. So now we know we open to our left and turn all the way. Okay? So you can practice that with your partner if you have a partner. You can practice that right now, just being aware of which count, which partner turns on. So if we are turning to the right, we'll do a little combination just for practice, okay? So the first combination is for the leaders. Second combination I'll go over is for the followers, using a right turn and a left turn. Basic step. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Okay? So now for the followers, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, turn to the right. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, we turn to the left. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now just for practice, we'll do that with music as well. Leaders. With the count, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So 3 measures of 8. All right. Now for the followers. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 2, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 3, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 4, 2, 3, measures of 8. Very good. So that was our right and left turn combination that we reviewed and talked about how to put it with our partner. Now we're going to go over how to do the hook and flick that we worked on before with a partner. So you're probably picking up on how this goes. It kind of goes man first, lady next, or leader and then follower. Same idea here. So from our basic pattern, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. The hook is going to be with the left foot. 1, 2, 3, and the flick was where we sit back in the chair. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. One more time. We have a hook. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. So we're going to keep the arm styling very straightforward, very simple. If you want to add any of the other arm styling that we did, feel free. So that was the leader's part of that pattern. One more time for the leader's timing. Basic pattern, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so now for the follower, we have basic pattern first. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So this is where we see him do that first hook as we break back. 1, 2, 3, then we hook. 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So that hook, where the leader who's facing us does that hook across on his 1, 2, 3, that's our visual cue. 1, 2, 3. Then when he's doing his next piece, which is actually the flick, we're doing our hook. 1, 2, 3, and then he's breaking forward while we have our flick at the end. Okay, so we'll do that real quickly with music for both partners, leaders and followers. Basic, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Basic, da, 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 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Now for the followers, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I did it twice in a row there for the followers. We'll do one more time, just the same way I did for the leaders. And 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And basic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, great job on that. So we're going to leave the patterns that we've already done. That's all the review that we're going to do today. The next pattern is a new pattern. It's an open box. So this is the first time where we're changing direction a little bit, besides just spot turning. So to begin, we're going to go over the pattern with the foot positions without rotating. So again, I'll go over the leader's part and then the follower's part from the other direction. So if we have a box, anyone who's danced rumba maybe has done a box step, I'm sure, American style rumba. So we step forward with the left foot, forward, side, close. And then for a regular box, if we were dancing a rumba, let's say, we would step back with the right, side, close. Okay, so an open box is just like that, except we don't close the feet. So once again, to review what a box means, in this sense, we're going to go forward with the left, forward, side, close. That made half of a box, right? Made a little half box. Now we go back for the second half of the box, side, close. Okay? We could repeat that. Forward, side, close, back, side, close. Now, I only taught you that so we could go into the next part, which is the passing of the feet. So instead of closing the feet now, when the feet would be coming together, we're going to allow the feet to actually pass. So we're going to step forward, side, back. So just right behind that other foot. Almost like you wanted to bring the feet together, but just overshot it, right? And that's going to help create a little bit of rotation. We're going to be rotating this pattern to the left or counterclockwise. Okay? Then the second half of the box, same thing. Going back with our right foot and then not closing on 3. Back and forward. So each time we're going forward, side, back, back, side, forward. Each time stepping through, right? So where we would close the feet, we're going to actually step past the foot. Okay, this can be a little bit challenging. It's a very different feel from our breaking action that we've worked on, just the rocking and coming back to our home base each time. Very different feeling. So take some time with this. Great thing about a video, you can always rewind it and try it again, right? So we'll go over a couple more times this pattern from the leader's perspective, and then we'll go over from the followers as well. If we are facing forward, we're not going to work on the rotation yet, just where the feet are, the foot position, which is a little challenging because it's made to be rotated, but we'll get to that part. So we go forward on the left, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow. Or, since we're counting in our salsa, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's go over the followers part without rotation. So just like we've been working on, we start with the back part of this, right? So if we were doing the followers part of a regular box, it would be back, side, close, and then forward, side, close. Now, we're going to be passing the feet. So instead of closing, we have back, side, forward, forward, side, back. Back, side, forward, forward, side, back. Okay, so that's the followers part and the leaders part without rotation. It's much easier to practice this with rotation. So let's see. How much of a degree of rotation do we want to use? Let's use 2 of these boxes to get all the way back around. That should be easy enough. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. So by this time I should be getting to the back of my room. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Now I'm back to the front. Okay, so let's practice that one more time for the leaders. If we do a basic first, let's practice that as well. So we have that transition, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7. Yes? Good. So we can practice now using our eye focus to help direct our change of direction. That's one thing that we can use. Also, just keeping the center engaged is going to help our balance. So, for the followers, we have rotation this time. So, the rotation doesn't change whether you're leading or following. We are always going to be rotating in the same direction. So, for this pattern, it's to the left or counterclockwise. Okay? So, followers, we have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Yes, let's try that one more time. Thinking of our direction that we're facing. Yes? So by the end of the first open box, I want to be facing the other direction. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6, 7. Very good. So we can kind of think of it like corner to corner for our rotation on that. All right, before we try this with music, I want to add a little embellishment to it. This is taking it's a little bit of a crossover action from mambo, but a lot of your salsa, depending on the style, of course, comes from mambo. A lot. So this is a fun one that you can add. It's a contraction, so using the core. Most of our body action comes from the center. We really want all of it to come from the center, right? So what we're going to be doing is using that core contraction to bring the knee up here. and that's going to happen on your accent count, your 4 or your 8. Okay, so this is a really fun pattern, but it's challenging. It's very challenging. So we're going to give it a shot. Now, using that on the 4 or the 8. All right, so now we're going to practice from our basic. 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7. Nice. That was the leader's part. Okay, so same thing for the ladies or the followers. We just begin with the back half, right? So let's start with our basic first. 1, 2, 3, a 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7, a 1, 2, 3, and a 5, 6, 7. Very good. So this is one that you're actually going to be moving together, right? So as he's going forward, she's going back, and vice versa. So you're actually, it's not going to be one of the patterns where the man goes first and then the lady. You're moving together. So starting with our basic pattern, and then into our open box twice. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and a 1, 2, 3, 1 more time, basic. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice work. We're going to try the followers part. Basic part. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. One more time, basic. Okay, great job. So that's going to conclude our Salsa Shines series. That is the 4th of the 4 videos. We will begin coming out with my next series, which is going to be a foxtrot series. So we'll have a few kind of similar to what we did, but I will have a partner for that one. And make sure to look out for that. Let's see, check us out on all your social media, please, and our website, which is dancefit.biz. And I try to keep up to date as much as I can with the website as well. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, available for private lessons here in Rockford at the lovely Dance Tonight studio, or in Genoa at the fitness center. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.